Thank you for coming today. I'm attorney Gloria Allred. With me to my left is our client Judy Huth, our lead trial attorney, my law partner Nathan Goldberg, and to my right, a very important member of our trial team, my partner John West. First, we want to thank the jury for their verdict of compensatory damages for Ms. Huth in the amount of $500,000. The verdict is very important. Second, we want to thank our client, Judy Huth, because she has demonstrated so much courage and made so many sacrifices to win justice in this case. We are honored to represent Judy Huth. Third, I want to thank my partners, Nathan Goldberg and John West, for being exceptional litigators and trial lawyers in this case and in many other cases as well. And I want the world to know that I feel very blessed that they have been my law partners for decades. Fourth, I want to thank all of the women who have spoken out over the years and refused to be silent in the face of injustice and sexual abuse by powerful men. The late United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said, quote, "Real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time," end quote. Today, our client Judy Huth won real change because she fought Bill Cosby one step at a time for over 7.5 years. And she proved with the jury's verdict that Mr. Cosby did sexually assault her when she was a minor, and that he should be held and was held accountable for what he did to her.
Is it more important to you that she won?
And before I take any questions, and we will take questions, I would like to ask my partner, Nathan Goldberg, if he would like to make a comment.
I actually would. What's amazing about this case is that what happened to Ms. Huth occurred 47 years ago, when she was 16 years old at the Playboy Mansion where Mr. Cosby lured her to come, along with her friend. There's no other case that I'm aware of where someone like Ms. Huth obtained justice 47 years after the fact. And that is what makes this really, truly, and remarkable in terms of a lawsuit, that no matter what, it proves that, you can run but you can't hide. That no matter what he did so many years ago, thinking that, he could just get away with it, we brought him here to this court to have justice, and we won. And we won despite all the accusations and all the things that were thrown at us from the opposing counsel throughout the trial, calling her names, calling her witnesses' names. We won because it happened. We won because it was right, and we won because it was just. And that's why I'm very, very proud of this verdict in favor of Ms. Huth.
Thank you, Nathan. And John, would you like to make a comment?
Sure. They say that our legal system is the worst, with the exception of every other system in the world, but it works. Anybody, any working person can come to our courts and seek justice. And if they have the perseverance that Judy Huth has, they can prevail. So be strong, have faith, and we hope every other victim steps forward and does the same thing.
Hello, I would like to thank my hardworking...
Talking to the mic.
Hello. I would like to thank my hardworking and dedicated team, Nathan Goldberg, Gloria Allred, and John West, and all my supporters, my family, my friends, and most of all, my two beautiful sons. Thank you all very much for being behind me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I also want to say before we take questions that as far as we know, this is the first case under California's Child Victims Act that extended the statute of limitations, and it was the first case to go to trial. So it shows that adult survivors of child sexual abuse which is what Judy Huth was in this case, do have rights, do have access to the civil system of justice in order to assert their rights and vindicate their rights in a court of law against the person that they accuse of sexually assaulting them when they were children, when they were under the age of 18. And now I will welcome questions. Just to reiterate, this is the verdict form. And the first question was Ms. Huth under the age of 18 when she was at the Playboy Mansion with Mr. Cosby? The jury answered yes. The next question was, did Mr. Cosby intend to cause a harmful or offensive contact with Ms. Huth by use of his sexual organ? And a sexually offensive contact with Ms. Huth resulted. Answer, yes. The next question, would a normal person without hesitation have been disturbed, irritated, offended, or injured by Mr. Cosby's conduct? Jury answered yes. Next, was Mr. Cosby's conduct motivated by an unnatural or abnormal sexual interest in Ms. Huth, a minor? Answer, yes. Fifth question, did Mr. Cosby actually and reasonably believe that Ms. Huth was at least 18 years of age when she was at the Playboy Mansion with Mr. Cosby? Answer, no. Next question, was Ms. Huth harmed by Mr. Cosby's conduct? Answer, yes. What are Ms. Huth's damages, which was question 7, $500,000. Number 8, has Ms. Huth proved by clear and convincing evidence that Mr. Cosby engaged in the conduct with malice, oppression, or fraud? No. And the answer 9, the lawsuit was filed on December 2nd, 2014. Did Ms. Huth file this lawsuit within 5 years after the date she discovered or reasonably should have discovered that psychological injury or illness occurring after she turned 18 was caused by the conduct of Mr. Cosby? Answer, no. By the way, under the new law passed in 2020 in California, it is not necessary for her to have filed her lawsuit within 5 years of the date that she discovered that the psychological injury was caused by the sexual abuse. Under the new statute, and she also is eligible to have filed her lawsuit under the new statute. That is not required. So now we will be happy to take some questions.
Ms. Huth, given how long this process was for you, does this verdict allow you to close this chapter and move forward in a meaningful way?
Indeed it does, yes.
How did you feel when you heard the verdict read?
I was elated. Seriously, it's been so many years, so many tears, just a long time coming.
Any other questions?
I was surprised.
I'm sorry, the microphone is closer to the microphone.
I was surprised, yeah, totally happy. You know, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know which way anything was going to go. So yes, I'm grateful to the jurors for sure, and just all the supporters that were there every day, and my friends, my true friends that showed up. Just very happy, very happy.
Is the fact that they found that Mr. Cosby sexually abused you more important to you than the money and the fact that you did win punitive damages?
Most definitely, definitely, yes.
It's always been about accountability, and we've always felt that whatever number the jury awarded, we would be happy if they found that Mr. Cosby had, in fact, sexually assaulted her when she was a child. Our one cause of action was sexual battery, and he has been found by the jury to have committed a sexual battery on a child.
What did you think about the fact that he didn't show up for the trial?
No comment.
He's not required to show up for a civil trial. No defendant is required to show up for a civil trial. But of course, Judge Carlin said in open court he would be welcome in his courtroom if he wished to show up for the trial, even if he asserted his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination.
I would also point out that he had his spokesperson, Mr. Wyatt, there every day, and so he was, even though he wasn't there physically, he was apprised all the time as to what was going on.
I understand this is the first civil case to go to trial. Does this open the door for other women to go forward?
To go to trial under the Child Victims Act in California. I think it's an important message to other survivors of child sexual abuse that you can sue, assert your claim even decades after you were sexually abused as a child. And so it's important to speak to private attorneys, understand what your rights are, the benefits and risks of filing a lawsuit, or whether it could be settled without a lawsuit. But you do have rights. Victims have rights in this state, and now they are asserting them. That's a strong message to sexual predators. Be careful. Don't underestimate your victim. She or he may come after you even years later, and they will have a right to do so in California, also in many other states now as well.
Your message, Judy, to Cosby?
You have a message you want to send them?
I really can't say it out loud.
Yes, you
I can.
No, leave it alone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
Ms. Huth, I'm sure that you had to endure so much criticism. How can you bring this case so late? Does this give you vindication? You had every right to bring this case, and clearly the jury felt that way as well.
You know, it really does. It's been torture. It has, just to be ripped apart, thrown under the bus, backed over, and this to me is such a big victory. It really is. To all victims. I mean it.